Hi, everybody. Hi, neighbors in McDowell Mountain Ranch and everywhere else. I'm Christine Espinoza, on Helene's team with Remax Fine Properties. And if you've seen my interviews before, you'll know what we're doing. We like to do interviews with different people in the community, businesses, residents, just to let you know more about the community and who's in it. And I've been wanting to do this interview here for a long time because this is a place where my son goes to get tutoring, and he's doing really great. And I think the best of both of you. So I'm excited to let all of you meet Dave and Kim Duckworth. They're the owners of the Scottsdale Education Center. So thanks for letting me interview you today.
Thank you, Christine. Thanks for having us.
So for those of you who don't know, which I was so surprised, I've run into so many other parents who are talking about their kids struggling in school, and I just assumed everyone knew that you were here, but a lot of people don't, and I keep sending people their way because it's been such a great help for me as a parent trying to help my middle schooler with math that I don't remember how to do anymore. And it just, my son loves it. I mean, it's just been heaven sent. So I'm happy to share this information with everybody else. So first, I want to let you get to know Dave and Kim a little bit better. So Dave and Kim, how long have you, or let me start with you, Dave.
Sure.
How long have you owned Scottsdale Education Center?
So we've owned it for about 12 years. And
Okay.
we originally bought this. It was a thriving tutoring center, and was catering mostly to sort of elementary and middle school and some high school students. And our vision when we took it over was to create a college prep center. And so we put a lot of effort into bringing in super high caliber teachers and tutors, and sort of built around a philosophy that says if we hire the best teachers in the area and they know the curriculum in the local schools, then we've really got something. And so being able to have those amazing teachers do their services for the local students has been our philosophy, and that's how we've been so successful.
You know, that's so true, because it's not like the old days where you just go down the street to your neighborhood school. We have so many choices of schools you can send your kids to, and they all teach totally differently. So, for example, my son goes to Cheyenne Traditional School, and if you don't do things the way those teachers want them done, even if you get the answer right, you'll get it marked wrong. So it has been so nice to know that all the tutors here know exactly how the teachers want it at Cheyenne, and other schools too, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, just to interrupt quickly, if you're at Cheyenne and you're doing math, make sure you're showing your work. We know that's important.
Yes,
All
Mr.
the math
Truesniak.
teachers.
K,
That's for you, Mr.
K.
Truesniak. So, but we do. We've been here a long time. We have 3 daughters who all went through Desert Mountain High School. All did extremely well academically. And so part of our model was we know who the teachers are, and we know the good ones, and we actively recruit them. And typically once they come, they stay. So we're just really, really proud of the services that we have.
Yeah, they were actually telling me they kind of stalk the good teachers. If it takes a couple years, they find the good teachers.
3 years for Mr. Peterson.
3 years.
About 6
Okay,
months
Kim
for
stalked
Mr.
Mr.
Mahoney.
Peterson for
Yep.
3 years.
So
that's awesome. Can you tell me what made you both want to get into the business?
yeah, fair question. My father was a teacher, so education was always a very important thing in our family growing up, and we used that also with our own children. So education to us as just a family unit was always an important thing. Our backgrounds prior to this was in high tech in Silicon Valley. We've been here.
Oh, wow, that's a
A
change.
big change. We have great teachers, and we let them do what they do best, which is teach. And then we provide more of the business background for the teachers to help bring in the students, and then create that philosophy of college placement center, college preparation center.
So let's talk about that. So I know you do tutoring for just regular, like they do middle school and high school, some elementary, but basically middle and high school, tutoring for whatever subject, and we can talk more about that in a minute. But the college prep, that seems to be, they're the go-to place for college prep, for the SATs and the ACTs. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I would love to actually, because we're very, very proud of the results that we get with
Well,
this
and thank you
service.
for the go-to handle. We really appreciate that. Thank
Well,
you
I've
very
heard
much.
it from a lot of people.
But as we built the business, we turned it in, as I mentioned, into a college prep center. And so we provide all the services related to a student who wants to get into their college of choice, but not just get in, be successful with that college of choice. And so a big part of that is SAT and ACT prep. And our approach is very, very personalized. And an interesting side note, it's about 5 years ago now, we actually cut our prices in half for SAT and ACT prep. And it was a very concerted decision on our part, because we said, look, this stuff is really expensive, and we're making money, and we can cut our prices in half, so why not?
Wow. Well, how much was it, and how much is it now?
It was about $1,200.
$1,200. That's what I look forward to.
Well, it was $1,200, and now it's about $600, just depending on how you do it.
Well, that's good. Most places don't cut their prices. They
No.
usually increase their prices.
But we did for a reason, and part of that reason was we wanted to build a center where anybody could come, and you didn't have to be wealthy just to be there. And so we're low cost, but super high quality. And I say that because Kim and I actually spent quite a bit of time in a lot of personalized consultations. So when a student comes in, they'll do a practice test, we'll do a consult, they'll get prepped, either a class or some of private tutoring, we'll do more consults, more practice tests along the way, maybe a phase 2 going for their second test. But all of that combined gets us some really high results. So our results are phenomenal.
So it's more personalized. It's not like you're just getting a SAT for dummies and going through a book that every place has,
Exactly
right?
right.
It's interactive, and
Exactly.
that feedback, I think, really helps the students as they're preparing.
But then going back to the college prep point, so SAT, ACT prep is a big part of it. And then one of the big issues with local high schools is there are hundreds and hundreds of students allocated per individual counselor. So the poor counselors just don't have enough time to really dive into individual students. So Kim is actually a college admissions coach with some phenomenal success. So if you think about it,
Wow, that's great.
there are several aspects to this. One is get into college. Second is how do you pay for college? And third is which college is most appropriate. So SAT, ACT scores make a big difference in terms of scholarships and also getting into that college of choice. And Kim actually helps with that and has incredible success with both very high-end schools. Last year, she actually got 4 students into Stanford,
Wow.
hardest school in the country to get into, 2 undergrads and 2 graduate students. But she's also helping students in-state get into honors colleges or get those scholarships that they deserve if they
That's so great, because you're right. I mean, there's only so many counselors in these high schools, and even if they're good, which they're not all good, but if they are good, they just can't get to everybody.
Actually, Arizona has one of the highest ratios of students to counselors in the country at about 800 to 1. The Education Association says that 200 to 1 is the right number, but we're at 800 to 1. So there are lots of kids that need help in that preparing for college application process.
Yeah, just kind of a bittersweet statement. Our business is thriving. I mean, we actually see about 1,300 families a year, and it's growing every year. And we need more space, which we'll solve soon. But it's a little bittersweet because we shouldn't even be here. And I say that saying, well, the schools can only do so much. And now with school sizes going to 35, 40 students in a classroom, the need for extra services becomes paramount now. And so it's a little bittersweet to say, okay, well, we're thriving because there's a huge need out there, but doggone it.
Well, just franchise and put one next to
There we
every
go.
school.
There we go.
There,
There we
problem
go.
solved.
There we
It's
go.
that easy, right?
Thank you.
But we not only help our students as well, but we also help our teachers. So we have about 35 teachers that teach in the school during the day, and then they come to see us after school. But it helps them too, because it helps them just financially.
I bet. I mean, we all know teachers, don't have the salaries that they want, and I'm sure this is a great supplementary income for them
Absolutely.
in a more relaxed atmosphere. And it's great that you're able to hand select. I mean, the way the school systems are, if there's a bad teacher, it's hard to get rid of a bad teacher, but you can pick just the good ones and have the good ones here to help the kids.
Yeah.
So, talking about the regular tutoring, not the college prep. So, and this is what my son is doing now. You have specialized tutors for every subject, right?
Yes.
Math, science, English, Spanish. What foreign languages?
Latin, Spanish,
Okay.
and a whole bunch of English teachers.
Okay.
So yeah, and math, I'd say most of the students come from math. And what's nice is we actually have 12 math teachers who work for us, and we tend to specialize. So I've got general math, I've got Algebra 1 pre-algebra math, and I've got very, very high-end math. And so what's nice about that is we'll get very high-end students who are trying to get into Stanford, who are taking the highest caliber of calculus you can take, and I've got services for them.
That's wonderful. And I also like, because I know my son does both. He does a math tutor, and then they have something which I think is really cool. It's, you call it homework help. So if there's, say they don't have math that they need to do for an hour, or they need help in a couple other subjects, they can come here for an hour and get homework help, and they'll put them with a tutor who can help them with whatever subject, or it maybe even 3. I know my son's done 3 different things in one session. So that's a great service that you offer.
And that's usually tagged to a service that we call study skills also, which is a big part of what we do. And it's really, it's a program, it's very inexpensive, it's affordable, it's compact, it's effective, but the idea is teaching students the process of studying, how to prep for tests.
Because they don't teach us that in school.
Yes.
Why is that they don't teach kids how to study in school? It's bizarre, right? Because that's all they do in school, and they don't teach us.
And we get into the details of their learning style, because you would study differently for different learning styles.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
So I love how, speaking from my own experience, and you can tell me more, but when your child first comes in here, they do an assessment and find out what kind of learner they are. Auditory, visual, what's the other one? Kinesthetic.
Yeah.
That's my son.
Yeah.
Yes. And then they say, if this is the type of learner that your child is, so this is the best way for him or her to study. That's incredible. Tell us a little bit. Is there anything else to say?
Well, not necessarily, although it does matter. I'm a visual, and it matters in terms of how I take notes, how I sit in my classroom, how I do things. And so it's part of that process of studying.
I'm an auditory, so we're complete opposites.
We're complete opposites, which has been interesting for our marriage. But it's interesting because I have to have pristine quiet in order to concentrate and get work done.
I have to listen to music.
She has to listen to music. And so we're all different, and what's interesting when we meet with parents and students is parents usually think that their student is the exact same learner that they are, and usually it's not the case. I will tell you this, just since we have some parents out there, best piece of advice I could give you is your student who is in their room, wherever they are studying, shut their phone off, take the phone out of their room.
Yes.
Just turn it
Major
off.
distraction.
It's a major distraction, and what we really find out when we dive into the details is students may be spending gobs and gobs of time pretending to study, trying to study, thinking they're studying, but when that cell phone is vibrating every 5 minutes, they're not. They're socializing and studying, and it's not possible to learn the material if you're interrupted
Distracted.
every 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
So that's my one piece of advice for the day.
You told me that, and I have been doing that at home.
Good.
And another thing, understanding that my son was a kinesthetic, am I saying it right? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Learner, I make sure he sits down for maybe 30 minutes tops, and then I'm like, here's the basketball, go outside, shoot it,
Perfect.
I'll take my other son, we'll run around the block, and it does, it just fires up their little brains again, and they're ready to study some more.
Timers, the value sometimes of timer, chunking it 20 minutes at a time if you need to, if you're kinesthetic, that can work.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, so that's awesome. Now you can explain when people come here to get tutoring. You have private tutors and group sessions. How private tutors one-on-one, Explain what the group sessions look like.
Sure, we call it semi-private, and most students come and do semi-private tutoring, which means 2 or 3 students total in the group. And so a math student will come in for Algebra 1, and the way it works is we prompt them to come prepared with the concepts they need help with, and they'll go to the teacher will teach them that concept, and while they're doing a practice problem or 2, the tutor will work with the student sitting next to them on a similar level of math, and it works very well. And so I'd say probably 90% of the students do semi-private, and it also makes it affordable.
Right.
A lot less expensive.
That's what I was really surprised about, because I kept finding private tutors, and a lot of tutors are around $60 or more an hour, and you're hoping you get the right one. It's kind of nice coming here because you'll put the child with the right tutor, or switch if you need to.
And you can switch, because we have so many tutors here.
Right.
You can easily switch.
Right,
to
which is
someone else.
nice. But it's really affordable. So if you do the homework help, it's $30 for an hour, right?
Yes.
And then if you do the specialist, the math specialist or whatever subject specialist,
tutoring.
then it's just under $40
That's correct.
an hour.
Yeah.
I think that's really reasonable.
Yeah, and we get a question often with new parents. They say, "Well, will you come to our house?" And we say no. And the reason is real simple. We recruit and bring in the best teachers around, and we make it really good for them, where they come to one spot. They get their 3 or 4 hours a night after their day job. They get paid really well, and they know exactly what they're doing with each student, and so it's really an efficient model. And so the inconvenience for parents to come here is offset by the fact we're giving them a great teacher who knows their students' curriculum.
Oh, it is way worth the inconvenience of driving here than me having to sit there Googling how to teach my son how to do a math problem. Let me tell you, we were both so frustrated. So I could just drop him off, come back, he's got everything done, he's happy, and actually the kids kind of think it's a cool place.
It's true. It is true. We joke it's kind of a cool place to be, and if you come and visit, you'll see that come at the top of the hour, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8.
Yeah.
And you'll see kids. It's interesting. First time they come, they're scared to death, and oftentimes don't want to be here.
Coming, kicking and screaming to get them through the door the first time.
Then they get the experience. Then they get comfortable, and then I think you said it really well earlier. We become a stress reducer for the students and the parents.
For sure.
With a lot of the services, and then oftentimes the students, it's a place they want to come, want to get work done, and the environment is just very exciting.
Yeah, it eliminates that bumping heads over the kitchen counter, trying to get the homework done. Just relieves that stress.
Yes.
You have someone else kind of keeping an eye on them, monitoring them. In our homework support too, we check their planners, we check for missing assignments, we give parents information in email telling them about how things went.
Love that.
Yeah, so it's it just gets rid of that tension. You have other things to be teaching them, so we can help with that.
That's right. Now is
It's a very short drive for us, right, in McDowell.
yes, if you live in McDowell Mountain Ranch, it's literally it's like 2 or 3 minutes away. So it's right on down the street from the Ice Den. It's on the corner of Bell Road and what's that cross street right there?
91st Street.
91st Street and Bell Road. Actually, the address is 9151 East Bell Road, but it's like a couple buildings down from the Ice Den off of Bell. So if you live in McDowell Mountain, it's super convenient.
Well, it's a resource for the community. It's really a resource for school-age students to help them get to their highest level of performance in school.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like to say or let our neighbors know about?
Yes. No, just to say we're amazingly proud of what we do. We absolutely love it. What's interesting right now, we're getting a lot of feedback from students who have taken their PSATs or their ACTs, and parents call us and they say, "Oh, my student got such and such a score," and we typically post those on our Twitter site. But we talk about, we kind of create a miracle every day where we help these students really reach their dreams regularly, and we couldn't be prouder of what we do.
Well, I can tell that you both are passionate about what you do and you love what you do, and that shows. I mean, it trickles down from the leadership to the teachers, and the kids feel it too. So thank you for what you're doing for our community and for our kids. And if you want to get a hold of the Scottsdale Education Center, their phone number is 480-538-0828. You can also look them up online, www.
sectutoring.com, or just Google search Scottsdale Education Center.
Okay, and it's going to be also in our link on our Facebook page. And if you're looking to buy or sell a house, I got to put a shameless plug in
Absolutely.
for myself. Call us at Helene's team. Again, I'm Christine Espinoza with Remax Fine Properties. Good, right when our light went out. 480-563-3333. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the interview and have a great rest of your week.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.